Welcome to another episode of the Muffed Sports Show. I'm your host, Hayden Haynes. We're back at it again, boys. Joining me, as always, Seth Killen, Cody Hart, and Braxton
Yo,
McKinney. Appreciate y'all.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Glad to be
Glad
here.
glad to have y'all back. And it's been a little couple weeks, but we're locked in, refreshed. A couple of us are definitely dialed into this NFL offseason news, and maybe a little basketball talk here and there. But this episode is specifically going to be about the most important news of the NFL offseason that's happened this week. A lot of the free agency and trades that have happened and releases and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what we're going to dive into. We're going to have a game halfway through where we're going to talk about some of the free agent wide receivers and also guys that are possibly on the trade block, where they might end up. And then just some of the most recent acquisitions or just, any kind of news in general for certain NFL teams that have happened. And then a little bit at the end, we're going to talk about some of the NFL draft rumors that we've heard since everybody just got done in Indianapolis with the combine. So, we get a little bit of news coming out of that just from the gossip that goes down there, which I've heard a lot of these teams get there. A lot of these GMs become, they get a couple cocktails in there with their boys, just like we would be, and they start letting that
They start
thing
yapping.
loose, man. They start telling
Yeah,
all the juicy secrets, bro. So I mean, we're about to have some good news coming out for sure to talk about. So
they get loose. I'm
I'm
ready
telling you,
for it.
I think that would be fun to like just be a fly on the wall in those meetings with those GMs. By the way,
Oh,
just
that would be lit.
just
Definitely.
talking ball,
You ever thought about being a sports analyst, Hayden?
of course, brother, of course. But like, think
You kind of
about.
are, yeah.
I know, right? But I wish. But imagine being like an assistant GM or a scout or whatever, and that's your weekend, and you're just having a good time mingling with all these other NFL scouts and GMs, and like the most gossip of all gossip for bros that happens that 4 day or 3 day weekend, and it's just like I would just be shocked to hear some of the things that I would hear because I know a lot of it's like, whoa, like that was left field, but it's like a big name player that somebody's talking about going to get in a trade or this guy in the draft might fall or blah blah blah. I just feel like that stuff, is only gonna stay in those rooms unless
Right.
somebody leaks it, and it's just like really cool to know, like, oh, like I'm one of those guys. Like that would probably be like
Yeah.
just a great feeling, just to know, like I know this crazy shit that
And
nobody.
no one else knows.
Yeah, but I would
You can
also
see,
like I'd be having a hard time to keep it, to
Oh,
dude,
myself.
the
I,
raps.
I,
Yeah.
I- I'd sell it for a good
Oh, wow.
15,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
15K.
oh
That's
yeah,
smart.
dude, I'm telling you right now,
Diana Rossini hit me up. You know what I
Adam
mean?
Schefter, you got to pay me 50K, Adam.
Uh-huh.
Diana Rossini, you don't need cash.
But yeah, let's just get right into it. The first thing I want to talk about was I was Saturday night in this beautiful island of Barbados at this wedding, and one of my friends there was a massive Washington fan. And he comes up and I'm like, dude, did you just because I think our group chat was talking about the Debo Samuel trade. And we were talking about, man, like that's so crazy. And I know I was kind of like, I was a few cocktails deep. I was mad about the Bama game, but I was also like referencing this, and I said mid or whatever I said. And genuinely at the time, I kind of looked at it and I was like, this trade, Debo for a fifth round pick, feels kind of mid in the sense of like Debo wasn't that good this past year. What has he got left? He's a guy that gets hurt a lot, but we do know the upside of Debo is a guy that has running back ability, wide receiver ability, line him up outside, inside, and punt return, whatever you want. Kick return, I guess, is really what he was doing, not punt return. But to say
Yeah.
all that, he's a versatile player and he does have a big upside. But in reality, like this last year leaves a bad taste in your mouth. So I guess what I'm saying is when I looked at it, I'm like, that's mid. But in return, the fifth round pick is nothing if you're the Commanders.
Nothing, dude. It's literally nothing.
So what do y'all think? Is that a good trade for both sides? I think the Commanders are taking on most of that salary, so the Niners get rid of that.
I think that's a great trade. I think that Devo's boom possibilities are a lot higher than his bust possibilities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So due to that factor, I'm proud of the Commanders for that. Just adding another weapon with Terry, like a
Yeah.
true weapon. I mean, we all got respect for De'Ami Brown, but
Yeah.
Yep.
After this playoff run.
Yeah.
yeah. But nah, for real, I think that's a great trade. I think that's good. Or not even a trade. I think that's a good pickup for the Commanders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cody, what do you think about that? You think is Debo gonna be that guy that takes a lot off the plate for Terry now?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you got to have eyes on Debo, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen what he can do when he's healthy, obviously. I mean, there's been some injury concerns, but if he's 100% and out there on the field, then you got to guard him. Like, he's too good, and he's definitely going to take a lot of the weight off of Terry out there. And I feel like two big seasons are coming for these two guys, really.
Mm-hmm. And Seth,
Like
I feel like, sorry, Braxton, go ahead.
if he plays 12 games, I think it's worth it.
Really? You think he's only got to play 12?
No, I mean for a fifth round pick who's
Yeah.
probably gonna be the 52nd guy on your squad, I think if you get Devo to play in 12 games,
Yeah.
then you kind of get your values worth.
As long as those 12 games are the end of the season, you know?
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and beat
But
out them first
And if
couple
he
games.
if he shows out,
Yeah.
yeah.
so like I guess my question is okay, basically the Commanders, nobody thought they were going to be in the conference championship. Now people are looking at them as okay, they're probably a little overrated. Like there's no way they're going to repeat what they just did. The Texans kind of had that success. They didn't make it to the AFC Championship, but the CJ Stroud story rookie year was kind of like Jaden Daniels, except Jaden one upped them. Does this make you think like, okay, they're gonna still have some growing pains, just because it's still a younger team, not a lot of talent on that defense. So I think they just agreed to basically part ways with Jonathan Allen, whether it's releasing or cut or trading him. So I guess my question is this like enough on offense at least to get them over the hump? Because I mean, Debo can play running back alongside of Brian Robinson, So I think for me at least, the running game between him, Brian Robinson, and Jaden Daniels should be enough. And then the passing game with those two guys, plus you'll get a little bit out of De'Ami Brown and Zacchaeus, I guess. So I feel like offensively, yes, but as a team, do you think this is enough to put them right back in the ship?
I think so. I think this could be able to get them over the hump, but it also comes down to their defense as well. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no. Yeah.
you got to have a good defense nowadays to even sniff a
But the
bowl.
Eagles ran all over them.
I mean, exactly.
We knew that was going to happen, but
Yeah.
He ran up their throats, dude.
I know. I mean, look,
Yep.
I think what do the Commanders have, like the 29th pick, I guess, something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
They're gonna be in that like late, like we did a mock, Braxton. I think there's like a lot of defensive players that are gonna be in that latter half of the draft that are still good, and they'll be able to find a good player. I got to look at that who we pick for them actually, but I know for a fact they'll have a good opportunity to get a pretty good prospect. I'm looking at it right now. We had Commanders taking. Oh yeah, this guy, by the way, is not going this low. He's definitely rising up the board, but it's Jahdae Barron, the corner from
Yeah,
Texas.
he's good.
So he's probably going to go higher now because everybody's catching on to how good he actually is. But to say all that, they're going to have a chance. I mean, there's a lot of guys that could fall. So we'll see. But moving on, definitely want to talk about the Bears getting two guards.
That's huge.
Yeah. I mean, they got some vets. One of them is the four-time Super Bowl champ, and Joe Thuney from the Chiefs, or Joe
That's
Thuney, and the guard Jonah Jackson from the Rams, who wasn't graded that high, in PFF's grades, but sort of respectable guard, a vet, gives you some, inside presence, and then Joe from the Chiefs is definitely a guy that is still playing top 20 guard in the league kind of ball. So
Oh yeah.
gives you help with Caleb, and also now you can run the ball up the tackles, and for the most part, you can probably explore other options other than linemen on your number 10 pick in the draft.
Yeah, no, I think it's great.
I think that's a fair observation.
Now
I
they can really
mean,
explore options at
if I
the
were
10
them,
pick.
I would look at I don't know if you get a defensive player, but honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to looking at somebody on the line to add to that. I mean,
Yeah.
really,
because if you can give Caleb time, I feel like he can be deadly.
Yeah.
So,
and
I
And I
mean,
mean,
that's proven.
yeah, it's not like they don't have weapons. Like they got weapons already out there.
Right.
that's true.
You
Right?
just got to
They
protect.
don't need a skill player.
So let me ask you this then. If you're on the board, if you're on the clock and on the board you see Ashton Genty, the tackle Kelvin Banks Jr. from Texas, and the edge rusher, let's just say actually it's a guy that falls, and let's say not Abdul Carter, he's gonna go high, but the next best guy that's kind of been propped up would be Shamar Stewart's getting a lot of love from Texas A&M. He's flying up the boards because he physically tested like Myles Garrett. Do you think you would go edge, O-line, or running back if you're the Bears at 10?
Yeah.
Personally, I
Edge.
think, yeah, I was gonna say edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have
I think
Sweat,
edge.
Montez Sweat, but he didn't have a great year last year, like 5.5 sacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going with a powerful edge.
And I don't think, I
Hopefully, you
mean,
get some Michael Parsons productivity.
Yeah.
is DeAndre Swift? Is he
So
staying?
he's there for a couple. They signed him to like a 3-year deal last year.
I
I
mean,
think
I
$8
don't.
million a year. But the thing is, they have 2 second-round picks. You can get a running back in that first top of the
Yeah.
second round because there's so many.
With the first, I would definitely say they should go
Best
defense.
defensive player
Yeah. Or I mean, if they wanted to, like
or
Braxton was
O-line.
saying, just throw another O-line on there.
Right.
I wouldn't
I
be
mean, it wouldn't
opposed to
hurt.
getting O-line. Either
Wouldn't
O-line
hurt.
or edge. I think they're straight on skill players right now.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't the year before DeAndre Swift on the Bears, he was on the Eagles, and he was kind of eating.
Yeah, I remember I do think they're getting a running back in the second round because I was seeing stuff about Ben Johnson when he was, still coaching DeAndre Swift on the Lions that
Mhm.
people were like, yeah, I had DeAndre Swift that year in fantasy and like he just was getting phased out of the offense because he didn't love him. But I do think he'll have a role. It's just he's not going to be like a bell cow. Like he's clearly going to play like somewhere in the middle of like what David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs like are. Clearly, he's more of a smaller back like a Gibbs, but he's not as electric. So I think they'll get a guy in the second round and they'll be fine just because they have a lot of options on the offensive side in general. You don't just have to run the ball all the time. You got weapons. You can experiment with Rome Odunze more now because Ben
Yeah.
Johnson's creative and Cole Kmet, guys like that. So I think I think the Bears are going to be in a great spot. It's just like we said this last year, but in reality, we just underestimated how bad the OC Shane Waldron was going to be for him,
Yeah.
and we'll see what happens, man. But I don't
think
know.
Ben
I Jack's
Johnson
got to be
also-
happy for sure.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think Ben Johnson also loves seeing a dual running back combo.
Oh, just like
with
two
David
guys? Yeah.
Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, I feel like he'll definitely get. With Ben Johnson, I feel like it's kind of up in the air with that 10th pick. But I mean,
That's what I'm saying because they took Jahmyr Gibbs in the top 10 when they were
Yeah.
there. So I mean, I'm not going to rule out Ashton Genty. I think personally
yeah.
that is making me think more like that's the route they're going towards because they're like, why? Like they're beefing up the O line and they clearly
Yeah.
have money to spend. They could go spend it more on the O line because the center
Yeah.
for the Falcons is about to be one of the top free agents, and we're not paying him $20 million a year, but the Bears could because they have top 10 cap space, 50 million or
Mhm.
so. So it's like you get a top center, you got 2 guards that are good. A couple of young tackles you already have. I mean, that alone could get you through the season, and then you could just take Genty or, maybe like personally me, I think Genty's great, but I would probably just wait and take a running back second round because you're gonna have like Judkins there for you. Like it's just why not? Just
Yeah, why
take
not?
him in the second round and get a decent O lineman or edge rusher. But yeah, moving on because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Cowboys, just because it's the Cowboys, we got to bring them up because it's good for the numbers, I guess. So expect this to be clip on TikTok. But Cowboys restructured Dak and CD's contracts. They opened up 36.6 million cap space. They now have 56.6 million total in the last this was a couple of days ago, the last like few days that they've created. So does this open more room for them? Do you think pay Michael Parsons, or this is going to be completely just for other weapons? Because I mean, I think Jerry Jones said this week that they're not trying to address all their needs in the free agency. So to me, it's got to be them trying to pay Micah, right?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, you got to pay a guy like that.
Yeah.
He's
you
well worth it.
yeah, you can't let a guy like that walk.
They
Yeah.
have
I
rumored to
mean,
be like he might be a trade guy, but it's like they're probably going to pay him, right?
No,
he got I'm not gonna lie, he had a disappointing season over
Yeah.
the past year. But I mean, I feel like that's because there was nobody else on the D line with him. Like
And
what
Dan
if they
Quinn left.
what
Yeah.
if they went and spent that on a different person? What if
Yeah,
they
you-
added something to that line? And then they did pay him, but not 50 million. Like I don't think he's Miles Garrett good. He's
Yeah.
good. He's not Miles Garrett good though. I mean,
That's
I'm saying
that could start a riot right
So-
there.
You
saying
think
those
you think he's
words.
Miles Garrett good?
I mean, no, I don't like either of them. I think TJ Watt's the king. He's my
Miles
glorious
Garrett
king.
is definitely
Don't glaze.
He's my glorious king.
I think Miles Garrett is a better rusher than TJ Watt right now. TJ
Yeah,
Watt
TJ
disappeared, dude.
I mean, last season definitely
disappeared.
was a little
He
bit disappointing.
disappeared.
He was getting locked up every
I-
game.
There was just a phase of like him just doing nothing. I remember.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that
I mean,
game, Steelers versus Browns, when Myles Garrett completely destroyed him during that
Yeah.
competition. Like, oh,
Yeah,
and they didn't go
that was
head to
rough.
head, of course, but
But yeah,
That was rough.
TJ
he got
Watt
better.
had a quiet game, and Myles Garrett ate,
Miles Garrett
and there
had
was
like
like a lot
4
of
sacks, I think, that
yeah,
game.
and there was a lot of talk like right before the game between those two.
Yeah.
So
Well, this is a perfect segue then. The Raiders just paid Max Crosby 3 years, 106.5 million extension. So he's now the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. So they get their guy that's like the best player they've had in the last few years, other than when they had, I don't know, Devontae Adams was pretty good, but he was still always their guy. So I guess what I'm saying is, does that make Micah Parsons now the guy that's up next for that kind of contract? Or do you think the Cowboys are going to try to lowball him a little bit? Like, what does he demand? Is he going to say, you got to give me 110 million or 107 million just to be like one-upping Max Crosby?
I think
I mean,
he's gonna want 30 plus mil, but I don't
You
think
think
he's
so?
I don't think he. I mean, like I said, man, he's not like you were saying, not Miles Garrett. I don't think he's TJ Watt right now. Like,
I
I
think
mean,
I think I'm paying Micah Parsons 30 million a year. I'm doing it.
All right, let's rank them. Who would you rather? These four, put them in order.
oh
Myles
god,
Garrett, TJ Watt, Max Crosby, Michael Parsons.
Seth, go first because you're the
give
TJ
me
Watt guy.
obviously TJ Watt first.
Okay.
I
No
mean, when
bias.
TJ Watt gets to the quarterback, he makes shit happen. He had 6 forced fumbles last year, which was number 1 in
Are we
the
talking? We're talking
NFL.
healthiness. Like they're all like we're factoring in how they get injured a lot, or we
Everything.
just
Everything.
okay.
Who would you rather
So is
have?
TJ Watt.
So you're
For
saying
sure,
one
number
TJ
1.
Watt, and then
You
who
got to
else?
factor
And
age,
then
everything.
give me Miles Garrett at
TJ
2
Watt, Myles Garrett.
Okay.
and who give me oh shit. Micah no, give me Max
Mm.
Crosby at 3 and I'll take Micah
Mm.
Parsons at 4.
See, I think I'm gonna do just everything the same except Miles. No, actually screw that. No, I'm gonna go Miles Garrett 1.
Boo!
I think I'm knocking TJ down a little bit now. I think I'm gonna go Miles Garrett 1, Max Crosby 2, because he's got that. I don't know. Something about Max Crosby.
I
I feel
love
like
Max.
he would be what TJ Watt is, but a little bit more like if he had other guys around him like the Steelers do, you know what I'm saying? He's
Yeah.
already putting up crazy numbers. So I'm gonna say recently factoring in TJ's down year, Miles Garrett 1, Max Crosby 2, TJ Watt 3, Micah Parsons 4.
I'm the exact same.
Yeah.
I'm
So
the,
we're all putting Michael Parsons last.
Yeah.
So
But I'm
why
still
would we pay
paying
him?
him.
I'm
I
so
don't
funny.
know.
Because the Cowboys suck, dude. It's like,
The
what do you
Cowboys do
do?
suck.
You got
So
to do
why
something.
look, either if I were the Cowboys,
You're
I'm
gonna trade
either
him?
using
And I'll say
if he wants to trade,
he's
He hasn't
still
yeah,
requested.
I'll go get
He wants to go to the damn Eagles because he's from there.
I'll
yeah.
go get 2 first. Well, you can't trade him to a contender.
No, no,
I
no,
mean,
no.
to a competitor in your division.
Yeah,
That's
no,
killed.
no.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I'd go get 2 first for Micah Parsons. I swear I would.
I mean, I'm a Falcons fan. I would do it.
Yeah. He's a game changer.
Like
I would
for
do it.
real.
TJ
But
Watt,
then, but
Miles,
then, guess
and TJ
what? Guess what?
Watt.
You're gonna also have to do. You send 2 first. Cool. Now you got to pay him 30 million a year.
Oh,
Mm.
I
see,
think I'm gonna
that's
send the first and Kyle Pitts, and then I'm gonna say, "Here's 30 million a year."
that's
You
fair.
got to take it. I don't
My,
know.
my order would be Miles Garrett 1, TJ Watt 2, Max Crosby 3, Michael Parsons 4.
Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah. So
I like TJ.
lastly on our list of news is
Where
another
was
defensive
TJ?
end.
Where was TJ in that? Sorry,
He was 2.
he was 2. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take
Me
that.
and Cody
Thank you,
disrespecting TJ
thank you,
Watt.
Braggs. Yeah, thank you, Braggs. Braggs knows ball. I know Braggs knows ball. That's all
Brax
I
does
know.
no ball, man. What about this guy?
Yeah.
We gotta factor him in on. And this is a guy everybody's gonna think, oh, he's 5. He's 5. But when I tell you he had the most sacks last year in 17 and a half.
I know who you're gonna
And I
talk
think the
about.
most pressures is Trey Hendrickson for the
Yep.
Bengals, who just requested a trade out of Cincinnati.
So who's getting Trey Hendrickson?
Well,
Yep.
the first reports are between the Falcons and the Commanders who have inquired about him.
That'd be huge for the Commanders.
Oh my God! If
Would
the
be huge.
Commanders got him, they're definitely contenders.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And the Falcons, I would just be lit just to have a pass rusher for once.
Bro,
But
if the Falcons got him, that'd be
I'd be
crazy.
hype. But Commanders though would be a better fit because they actually have a decent defense already.
You know,
That's
you
true.
don't hear in these trade talks is the Titans. Where
No, Titans don't.
Y'all got to get a damn quarterback.
no, dude, I got some tea to spill about my little Titans.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. What's your tea about the Titans? We got time.
So it's about the draft, right?
Oh, I've been seeing a lot of stuff about who the Titans gonna be taking.
I'm telling you.
Is
So
it Cam Ward?
And I know I ain't seen no Cam.
Is it the Warden?
I don't want it to be the Warden.
You don't?
I said I want it to.
Oh, okay.
You said I don't want it to.
Either. I think
I think I just cut out a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh.
What are you hearing, man?
I'm hearing we're either gonna trade back with the Jets at 7 or go with the Giants at 3.
7.
I heard the
You think you're
Giants.
getting Cam Ward at 7?
No.
No.
Oh,
They're gonna
saying
take
fuck
Cam Ward at 1.
I've been hearing a lot that we're either, if we do the 7th, we're gonna go and get like a Sam Darnold, and then have all this draft capital for the next 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
And then just stack.
just run and just kind of run it. Or if we go to 3 with the Giants, and we're gonna take Carter and possibly sign somebody down the road.
I think I would do the Giants trade. Well, I don't know. Here's one thing I'll say. I like Cam Ward a lot, and I'm hearing that he separated himself so far ahead of Shador and Jackson Dart recently. And that's where my head was always at. I thought Cam Ward was actually a really good quarterback. But I do think y'all could maybe do like a Sam Darnold 3-year deal, like a Baker kind of deal, and get by. If you go to 3, not 7. I think 7 might be too much. But
I'd have to give it. What I was hearing is like if we move back to 7th, it'd have to be the biggest bag.
Oh, y'all would have to get multiple firsts.
Multiple firsts.
Yep.
Like,
you just lag
give me
so
everything.
hard. But no, I agree.
That boy said first.
So wait a minute.
Well, 100 megabytes.
So
100 megabytes.
Cody, what are your backup options if y'all do trade down and like your like quarterback's got to be somebody not in the draft? Who's your top 3 guys in free agency or trades that you could get?
I like Sam Darnold. I wouldn't mind Sam Darnold. And then
Okay, but hold on. You like Sam Darnold, okay? But
He's
do
a
we
bust.
think Sam Darnold would cook on the Titans?
think
Is
he's
that a thing?
It'd be a Panthers
Better
rerun.
than
Oh,
Will Levis is a
no.
valid argument.
Ooh.
he is better than Will Levis.
No.
That's a valid argument right there.
I think he would be okay.
Nah, no.
Sam Darnold would be okay.
I think I need
on
another
the
year.
Titans.
I need
Okay.
another year of the Will Levis memes. Give me
No.
one more year.
No, dude. Cody, no. We can't run Will Levis back.
Oh shit.
I won't.
All right, what about
I mean-
Rodgers? What about Rodgers?
Oh,
Old
Riddle.
man Rodgers. Riddle and Rodgers. What's he gonna do?
No,
Man?
hey, you know Devontae Smith is going with Rodgers.
Devontae Adams? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
no, I just
He's going with them. Yeah, Devontae Adams is going with Rodgers wherever he goes. So if you add Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley,
honestly, fuck it then. Bring him to the Steelers.
No.
If that's the case,
This guy.
we got
Guys,
Justin
always-
Fields.
Yeah, you got Fields to worry about.
we do have Justin Fields, but I mean, we get Aaron Rodgers in there just to get
No.
Devontae in there, and then we say, all right, Aaron Rodgers, you go ride the bench the season. Justin
Well,
Fields gonna take over.
I don't even think
How
that's
much-
on the table because Devontae said he wants to play in LA or San Francisco.
He wants to play with contenders.
Or
Tell him
Nash-
to come on over.
How much did the Steelers just pay Justin? Like
They haven't
20
paid
mil
him.
2 years?
We haven't paid
thought-
him, yeah.
Not
We
a
haven't paid
problem.
him or Russ. Nobody knows who we're keeping.
That's definitely
Nobody
Fields.
knows, man. And we're not making any. I haven't seen no trade rumors
That
with
boy-
these wide receivers,
Y'all not doing nothing.
Mike-
dude.
Blue.
Actually, no, I did see y'all still really want to get a wide receiver. Who was it? It was Brandon Ayuk or maybe
And Chris Godwin. I've seen Chris
Something.
Godwin.
yeah.
Chris Godwin,
Floating around.
he's like what, 29?
Yeah, I
He-
don't,
he's-
dude.
He's not bad.
It's crazy because later when we do the little wide receiver thing and we talk about these wide receivers, realize how brittle these wide receivers are. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think I want any of them
It's
on
not
my team.
elite.
Yeah.
Well, Cody, I want your final answer. So, what's your top 3 quarterbacks other than Cam Ward to be a Tennessee Titan next year? Sam Darnold 1. That's
Okay.
crazy, by the way. But go ahead.
I'm throwing Rodgers, man.
This is sad. This one. Who is the last quarterback you could think of now? Do you know what? You know what? I'm sorry. I have to just say this.
Oh shit.
Daniel Jones is out there.
Oh
God. God, dude. I couldn't think of
Oh,
anything
God.
worse than Daniel Jones and Arthur Smith collabing on the Steelers than him being on the Titans.
No,
Oh, him and
Holy
Will
shit.
Levis.
dude, no.
Oh, I'm crying.
Nah,
bro.
it's got to
That's
be
so
Cam
funny.
Ward. Cam Ward makes the most sense.
Or I mean, low key Shadur.
No, I've been
mean,
seeing some ass reports about Shadur just being a.
I don't know, man. It's
Tell me
such
who-
a,
I'd rather have Will Levis or Shadur. It's an easy choice.
Yeah, it is. But I've just been seeing how he's just not a. He's just so conceited.
he's just
and
like
shit like
he's
that.
just like Dion. I think they get bad
He's
raps.
confident.
He's just really
Yeah.
confident,
That
and
is
he's
true.
he's just a guy that's gonna get always bad rep because he's just his dad's son.
He's
and I feel like
Deion
Yeah.
Sanders' son. He's gonna get a bad rep. Dude,
he's gonna be
but
fine, bro. Like he's not gonna be elite ever, but he'll be like a good player.
I think he's gonna be like almost like a. He's gonna have a similar, depending on where he goes. I could see him having a Bo Nix type year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
A lot of
true.
ups, a lot of ups, a lot of downs.
He needs to go
Yeah.
to a team with a literal great offensive coach with a good O line.
Yeah, I
Tennessee.
agree. Yeah, because you know he's gonna take sacks.
Not
Yeah,
the
he's taking
Tennessee
some
Titans,
sacks.
Cody.
He's just
You
gonna
know
drop.
where I've seen, and there was like a pretty famous podcast that me and Caleb actually watch about mock drafts, and they had Shador falling and going to the Steelers.
Wow.
I'm just saying. son.
No.
I'm just saying.
No.
Could be
Okay,
wrong.
all right.
Give me
I'm
the
sorry.
Ohio State wide receiver.
I got one more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cam Ward, Shadur Sanders, Jackson Dart. Take your
Dude,
pick.
that's who I was literally just about to bring up,
Well,
Brags.
I think
I've
Cam
been
Ward.
seeing a lot of hype around Jackson Dart, and I feel like he's kind of growing on me a little bit. I feel like he could be kind of Himothy.
He's good, dude.
He
He's
is
really
good.
good.
He
But
is good.
all right, you got to rank those 3. Who would you rather have on your team?
Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Shadur.
Yep, that's my exact same thing right there.
I'm gonna go Cam Ward really easily 1, and then I'm gonna put Shador 2, Jackson Dart 3 still.
I'm with Hayden. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think I gotta see Dart maybe like prove it still, just because he has a lot of highs, but I mean he's still a little bit in that like where he might be a system QB in Lane Kiffin's offense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know who I haven't heard a
see.
lot about is Will Howard.
Because he had the worst combine
I
ever.
saw some of those
His
throws.
cheeks,
He's
bro.
not good, dude.
I saw some of those throws. I said, "Oh, buddy."
I really
All
thought
right.
for a minute, I was like, man, maybe he is going to be a decent player. And then I was like, you know what? He's just
That-
surrounded by one of the best teams in
Yeah.
college football. So, I mean,
That
why
natty
not?
was a
Exactly.
fluke. It was a
If I was
fluke
throwing
natty.
to Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Egbuka and Carnell Tate, I would also put
And
up a few
Judkins
thousand
and
yards.
Henderson. Yeah.
Yeah, trust me, I would put up some numbers myself. Work as an accountant. I promise you.
Oh, man.
But
I'm gonna be real. Like, he's going to be a permanent backup, or he's going to the UFL.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, let's play this
Cody-
game, though. Go ahead.
wait, I'm sorry.
You're good.
Cody, Will Howard or Will Levis?
Who's got more will? Who's got that will in them?
Will Howard won a natty.
Well, we're clipping that. That's going on.
We're flipping that.
That's a cold ass answer. Will Howard won a natty, man.
That's
Will
awesome.
Levis couldn't even win the damn Mayo Bowl or whatever.
Come on, bro. Not even in your own bowl game you can't.
I have no idea if he actually went to that bowl, but that'd be hilarious. Oh,
If
man.
it's like Kentucky making a bowl game is insane.
Yeah,
I doubt it.
Kentucky in the Pop-Tart Bowl. All right,
That's
so
so funny, bro.
that's a good bowl, actually. It's a good bowl.
The Pop-Tart Bowl was lit.
It was lit. I forgot about that.
Go ahead.
So we're gonna do this game. It's really just a matching game. We're gonna
I
have
like this game.
two teams, per person, and then we're gonna have players, 8 players to choose from in a pool. So it's gonna be like free agency or trades, just in real life. Once the guy's gone on a team, you can't pick them. So we're gonna go and make this easy, so we don't have to sit here and like talk about what teams we want and stuff. Let's just do um first on the board. Let's just go with Cody because I'm looking at him right now. Cody, I'm gonna go ahead and give you. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let Seth have at least a Steeler. So they're not on the board, but a team that's near and dear to your heart, Cody. I want you to take the Packers, and right below them, I want you to take the Chargers. Okay, but first, let's just start with the Packers. Don't do the Chargers after. Just do the Packers first. And if you're the Packers, who would you go out in free agency or trade and get out of those? And I'll list the wide receivers real quick. DK Metcalf, Devontae Adams, Chris Godwin, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, Tyler Lockett, who just got released, D-Hop, and Cooper Kupp. Who's the Packers?
They got a lot of big guys that like a lot of tall guys on the outside. So I definitely want a slot guy. So give me Chris Godwin, honestly.
You think so?
I would love that for the Packers if they got Chris Godwin. I think he would open up the field for Chris Johnson on the outside and Romeo Dobbs. He would just two.
You got Jaden Reed there.
And then, dude, he would tear defenses up with Jordan Love, and he would just open the field up so much because he's such a good in between the hashes guy.
Yeah.
I would love to see Chris Godwin go to the Packers. I would say that
Packers could be pretty good with that, with Josh Jacobs, Jordan Love, Chris Godwin.
They do need like a vet who's won before. He's hurt, but like he'll be all right.
No, he's gonna be fine.
He's a resilient
definition of hurt.
I mean, that is true. The Packers.
I think Chris Godwin is injured.
I think Chris Godwin is 29. I'd probably say
sign him to a 2-year deal.
Yeah, 2-year, 3-year deal max, and you're just gonna have to just get the most out of that.
And I think they would. I really do. I think they would open up the offense tremendously now that you got a legit slot guy, but that can also play on the outside for you.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark off on my notes just so I keep track of it. Chris Godwin is off the board to the Packers. So now let's go with Braxton. Braxton, your teams are going to be some powerhouses, the Bills and the Chiefs. Okay, I want you to start with the Bills. Who would the Bills get out of these players? You're going to have DK, Chris Godwin, Devontae Adams, Diggs, Keenan Allen, Lockett, and Kupp. Or not Chris Godwin. I'm sorry, D-Hop and everybody else I mentioned, and not Chris Godwin.
Metcalf, easy answer.
I'm pissed.
On the Bills.
On the Bills.
What are you trading? What are you giving?
You can have Amari Cooper. Take him. I don't want him.
He's a free agent.
Good. He's gone.
Okay.
They can. I'm sorry. No. Amari Cooper's worth a 5th or a 6th, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, bro. If Debo's worth a 5th, Amari Cooper's worth maybe a 7th.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, all right. Some of the options you just gave me.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Cody?
I said, don't disrespect Coop like that.
He didn't do anything last year, though.
I know he did.
He's a free agent, so you can't do anything about that. He's gone. So you'd have to move.
Okay, I would move
like Curtis Samuel.
I don't want to get rid of. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be Curtis Samuel plus something else. Maybe Curtis Samuel in the 3rd.
Yeah,
Seahawks are not going for that.
Okay,
they said their asking price is a 1st and a 3rd.
Oh my god! I mean, I guess that's kind of valid.
Honestly, I mean, the Bills got the 30th pick.
Yeah, and then on top of that, DK wants upper money next year, like 30 million.
So if they want my 30th pick, who's going to be a defender, you can have them because the Bills' defense is already kind of stacked. Those guys are already like not old; they're young.
Yeah,
I like that. Give me DK. I'm paying him $80 million, 2 years.
You mean You gotta be kidding. There's no way he's getting 40.
You're right. That's cap.
I think your math is off.
I know. I
All right,
capped.
let's
I
say
capped.
3.
I was gonna say 40
years.
mil a year.
I was going to say 2.5, but that don't make any sense.
Well, he wants 30 a year.
All right. Well,
2.5. Halfway through the season, you're done, buddy.
I'll give him. I would give
lit.
DK 60 mil for 2 years. I think that's a good trade. I mean, good value, and I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. Is DK old?
He's not old.
He's
I
not
think
old.
No,
DK is
I think he's
26 or
27.
Yeah.
I think he's 27. So give me 2 years,
Yeah. We'll see how you look
60 mil.
after 2 years, and then we'll talk.
I think
mean, Shakir.
Shakir just got paid a little bit, I think.
Shakir and DK and James Cook
Keon
and
Coleman,
Keon
right?
Coleman, right?
And they got those tight ends, Dallas Knox
Dalton.
and
Dude, still Dawson Knox is
Dallas Knox.
You said Dallas Knox
and Dalton or
We're
Dawson
cooked tonight.
Dude,
people listening to this.
I do that shit way too much.
No,
They're gonna say we're slow, but no, yeah.
People already say podcast equipment should be more expensive in my comment, but it's all right. I'm like, all right. You should have to pay to comment. Anyways, Charger, or let's go to Seth. Seth, I want to give you the Rams and the Steelers. You can start with whoever you want.
Ew. All right. I mean, George Pickens kind of a deep threat. So
you're starting with the Steelers right now?
Yep.
Okay.
Giving me my best option.
So no DK, no Chris Godwin,
which I'm pissed about. Because I definitely want one of those two.
You're getting a vet, that's for sure.
To any of these other guys.
I actually just got some news on DK.
What?
Yeah.
John Snyder, the GM, talking to a ton of teams, but may keep Starr if things don't fall the way he wants.
Oh, so if they don't get that first, they're gonna keep him.
They're just gonna keep him.
Right.
Okay. Good news, Cody.
Like
good news break right there from our reporter, our insider,
break.
Cody
Thank
Hart.
You, sir.
Thank you.
Yep.
Breaking news, Cody Hart.
Hey, I'm here to break it. I got the codes to break.
There you go.
If I'm the Steelers, I mean, I would like to have Devontae, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. How
he's
do you make that pitch?
You gotta remember.
Huh?
What'd you say?
Gotta get Rodgers with it.
No, you gotta get Rodgers.
All right, if that's a package deal, I don't want that deal. No deal.
No deal.
No deal.
Oh man, that's
but
funny.
like I said, if George is a deep threat, not really an elite.
You need the in between the field guy.
I'm probably taking Cooper Kupp.
That's what I was gonna say. Cooper Kupp for the Steelers. Just to somebody to match up with DK. Just somebody to match up with George.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
I need that. And then the Rams.
Well, don't do the Rams yet, because we're all gonna go back and snake around.
All right, Hayden, your turn.
I have shitty teams, but Raiders and Broncos. I'm gonna start with the Raiders and go with the layup. What we all know probably is gonna happen, just to keep this thing moving.
I already know what
that's Tyler Lockett going back to Pete Carroll. So I feel like we talked about this in the group chat. Basically, it would be Pete Carroll reunion, and honestly, between him, Brock Bowers, and Jacoby Myers, they're not dropping a pass ever.
No,
they're not.
They just got to get a quarterback.
That's it.
All they need.
But yeah,
Aiden O'Connell.
So now let's snake back to Seth. Seth with the Rams. Who are you taking?
Rams.
Or I guess I gotta go then.
You gotta go if you're
Broncos, because I just did that quick. Broncos. I definitely think Bo Nix and Sutton have that connection, and we saw what Mims was kind of popping off in the playoffs. So they got a deep threat. They need a guy that can kind of do a little bit of the Cooper Kupp-esque kind of Chris Godwin kind of vibe. So because Mims is strictly a deep threat, I think, even though he was a little bit of a gadget guy. But Sean Payton wants a guy that's like a do-it-all. Now I'm limited, I don't have a lot of great options here, but somehow, some way, I'm going to convince with a lot of the money that we probably will have to pay old Stephon Diggs to come to the Broncos and match up alongside with Courtland Sutton and Mims, just because I don't really love the age of Keenan Allen and D-Hop. But yeah, I don't know. Diggs would probably be my next best pick right there. So that's really all I got on that. Broncos are a little tricky right there.
Yeah. And I mean, if I'm the Rams, I mean, out of my 3 options I have here, I'm taking Devontae. Even if, I mean, I know the Aaron Rodgers duo thing is a thing, and they just re-signed Matthew Stafford, but you got to give me Devontae there. After, if it's Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins, and Devontae, I'm taking Devontae next to Puka.
Yeah, and I would have. I just want to say I would have probably taken Devontae, but I have in mind that he's not even going to be an option for the Broncos because he wants to go like out
With
west more.
Rodgers,
But
yeah.
anyways,
All
so
right,
wait, who'd you pick? Seth? I'm sorry.
Devontae.
Okay, Devontae on the Rams. That would make a ton of sense. Like we said,
It makes
he
a
wants
lot
to
of
play.
sense.
He wants to play in LA. Cooper
Yeah.
Kupp, good offense. Matt Stafford makes sense. Or not Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
I get used to that. But Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, which would be crazy, by the way.
That would be
That would
nuts.
be unreal.
Really fun offense right there. And Kyron Williams. But Cody, or is it Braxton? Yeah, Braxton with the Chiefs. Who did the Chiefs get, man? They don't. You have your options would be really limited. It would be re-sign D-Hop to a small deal, or get Keenan Allen.
Or are you keeping your money?
Got to take somebody, man. This is what you got.
Both those guys are kind of old, but they both have insanely good hands. Like,
Yeah.
well, I would say that, but D-Hop dropped some crucial balls in the Super Bowl. Hey, kind of want to say, give me just to see something new. I'm going with Keenan Allen.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense to re-sign D-Hop,
Just because he
but
was like
just
there
to
already. Yeah.
just to give me something new, I would
Plus
say
Keenan
give me
might.
Keenan.
I don't know. Keenan might be a little bit better than D-Hop at this point, just
I think
because
so.
D-Hop, I don't know. Something about him last year made me realize like he really is not the same player. I can't
Yeah,
remember what it was because he like came in and scored like 2 touchdowns that first game. But then I think
right.
I just got him in fantasy, and then that's what made me have a bad taste in my mouth. Like he just really didn't do anything. So
No, yeah, I like Keenan Allen. I mean, got to think about the weapons they currently have. You have Xavier Worthy as kind of your gadget guy, and then you
Rashee
have
Rice,
Rasheed Rice,
yeah,
Travis Kelce. I mean, Keenan Allen or D Hop would do well in that system. I
Keenan
believe
just got
so.
more like route running ability. I feel
That's
like,
what that's what I think as well. That's why I'm going with old Keenan.
and so Cody, you would be stuck with the Chargers, or no?
Right.
Yeah, Chargers getting D Hop. Because basically now, like, what T. Higgins is getting franchised, so he's not an option for a lot of teams. There's really not a lot of like Amari Cooper's a free agent, but we just talked about him maybe not being good anymore. There's really not a lot after that. Deontay Johnson, who's got problems.
No.
D Hop on the Chargers next to Ladarius.
I mean, dude, I think that'd be a good matchup, honestly. I mean, I think D Hop still got maybe a season or 2 left in the tank.
Yeah.
And I mean, like we said, he's still got good hands. And I mean,
He would definitely have better hands than Quentin Johnston, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think he would definitely take more of the pressure off of Ladarius out there so he could eat.
Yeah.
But I like
Ladarius.
it. I would not complain about it if I was a Chargers fan at all.
Yeah. I mean, if it's like a cheap deal, for sure. You're just
Yeah,
getting a guy. But yeah, I mean, I do think realistically, this is like on a scale of 1 to 10, how elite this wide receiver class of free agents is probably like a light 7. I don't know. Like, just because there is like still juice in the tank for Devontae, DK, I think Diggs and Godwin, but then you get down to the old heads and Keenan, D-Hop, Lockett, and Cooper Kupp. It's like, man, like they got some great years, but is it just completely gone? You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that's a fair group, like rating 7-ish. I don't know about y'all, but
I would still say Cooper Kupp out of all those 4 that you listed, he's definitely got the most in the tank out of those 4. I would say
He's like 36.
Yeah, but still,
he don't play like it.
a guy that I feel like could actually be decent still, and I know he just is like whatever, is literally Tyler Lockett. Just because I looked at it today, he's still not that old. I think he's 30. He got drafted in like 2015. It's not that crazy to think that he could produce still because he didn't do a lot last year, but that's more because they had a new OC and they were trying to get the ball to JSN a lot. So I don't know. Lockett and Cup out of those bottom four. I mean, I don't know. Keenan Allen to me, he's good, but it's like, is he going to be hurt all the time now? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Dion
I
wasn't
think
like
he fit
hurt.
in well on
But
the Chiefs.
yeah.
They're injured.
So, lastly, we got a couple of draft rumors. First thing I wanted to bring up is that the Browns at number 2, whether it's 2 or they trade down or they just come back in the first round, they want to take a quarterback in the first round. That's the rumor coming out of the combine. At 2, what do y'all think? Do you think they would be that team to take Shador that high, or is there a way that they just trade back, or maybe, like I said, come back into the end of the first round just to get that? Because if you come back in and get a 5th-year option, in the late first, like if you're taking in the first round, you get a 5th-year option as on a rookie deal. So you could get Jackson Dart late or somebody like that you like, or if they loved somebody random like Milrow or something, which I don't think I would ever do. But do you think that is in play, or is it just more likely they just go to and take Shador?
I think they'd do the Shador.
I think
they met with
too.
him, I think, and liked him a lot.
Yeah.
I bet they did.
Yeah, I can see him taking Shador. I mean, at 2, because Cam's gonna be gone.
Right.
Yeah. Hopefully.
And then, Cody, you're not going to want to see or hear this, but the next bullet I had was Titans are okay with not taking a quarterback at 1, which we talked about. So
yeah, we talked about.
So we addressed that elephant in the room.
If
But
they don't take a quarterback,
maybe that's smoke, man. Maybe they're just saying that.
I hope it's just the thickest fog.
The thickest
fog is crazy.
Please.
Yeah, y'all need the Warden, man.
We need the Warden.
Also, Cam Ward he would look tough in a Titans throwback.
The meanest in
He would look clean. He would. I'm not gonna lie, Will Levis just doesn't cut it for me, man.
Bro, I need another year though of the memes. I need.
I do not.
We're done with that.
Paint everywhere.
Jackson Dart, though, rumored to possibly be a top 20 pick. We just kind of mentioned him too. So I mean, if he's top 20, that would mean, I don't really know. I got to look at the draft board again, but basically I'm looking at it now. Seahawks at 18 could be a possibility just because they're running out of gas with Geno and those guys. They're clearly talking about trading DK away. So I mean, they could get a first and maybe take Dart even later in the first round. So the Seahawks could be a team, I think, with Dart. I don't really know if this is one that's like really a hot take. It would be the Cardinals, only because I've heard like they're kind of running out of time with the Kyler Murray experiment. Do they get rid of Kyler in a trade eventually and they just take a quarterback? And last but not least, I could see maybe like a team moving up into the top 20 and taking a quarterback, but it would have to be like the Steelers, but they're already at 21, so they could just stay there. So
yeah. With that Kyler Murray deal, I think he's got to prove it this year. He's got to prove it. This is it. And I think that if he doesn't, then that's
basically make the playoffs.
Exactly. You got to at least make the playoffs to secure your spot.
Yeah, he's made it once, I think.
Yeah.
I like Kyler Murray. I do. I like Kyler Murray.
I think he's a really good quarterback. I just think the system might not be the best.
Agreed. Didn't the Cardinals have the worst ownership as well, or like the worst team grade?
They did get some bad team grade. I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
I just think that he does need a new scenery.
I would say the same. He's still a really all get out. Like I still think he's a great quarterback.
He, to me though, this is what I think. Kyler needs to be in like a already loaded roster. Like he needs to be dry. And I know it's like everybody wants to say that, but like legitimately, he's not gonna be able to just carry your franchise. Like he doesn't have that ability. Like he's not a great leader, I think, because from what we've seen, he's just all about balling, which is like some guys are like that. It's kind of like KD in the NBA. You need to be put into a team that's like got a great O-line, got a great coach. We've seen him make the playoffs with decent pieces, nothing crazy. With whoever it was, D-Hop and Marquise Brown, or what, I don't know. I'm getting my years mixed up with him, but he was in there, and then he's been banged up, so he had that season-ending injury. But other than that, I mean, he's a dual threat guy. We know his arm's good. He's got quickness. I think if I'm putting Kyler Murray anywhere, like if I'm like immediately he has to be traded right now, the best I could think of, and it's like one of those things that nobody's going to be like, yeah, like this is what you just described, but with the head coach, the Tom Brady aspect, and the all O lines actually graded pretty high, and it would be the Raiders. It would be like them, or the next best would be the Giants, and they're not even that great. But it's like we've seen Dayball make the playoffs with Daniel Jones, and they have Malik Neighbors, Tyrone Tracy, and they have at least shown that Dayball can get guys their numbers. And I think that Kyler would do okay in that offense, but he's got a weird market right now. It's going to be a weird year for him if he doesn't pan out.
What would you pay Kyler if you are the Raiders?
So Kyler's getting a bag right now. I don't know what exactly it is, but I would say if like just off the top of my head, if he wants an extension, I pay Kyler. I give him like 2 or 3 more years extended on his deal if he's my guy. And then I'd say you're getting that $45 million a year, like what people are offering Brock Purdy right now.
Yeah, that's what I'd do.
Or when I say
Would
people,
you rather
the
have
Niners.
Kyler Murray or Brock Purdy?
Honestly, it depends. Like if you're in the Niners, specifically the Niners offense,
You got to be Purdy.
Purdy just is that guy for them. But if you're
He's
like
a good,
dropping
yeah.
Brock Purdy on the Raiders or the Giants, hell no. Give me Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
So Kyler Murray is more of a game changer, and Brock Purdy is the definition of a system quarterback game manager.
He's a game.
He does a good job of being the game manager for Kyle Shanahan. And if you put Kyler in there, he could probably get outside of himself too much, like outside of the offense. Like he's going to do too much that honestly hurts them at times. He needs to be like but that would be great though at the same time, because I just mentioned that he needs to be in a team that's loaded like the Niners. So I do think it could work. What I'm saying is, though, if we're splitting hairs, genuinely, Brock Purdy is going to run your offense more of like efficiently. Kyler's just going to give you a lot of explosive plays and a lot of dumb plays too, which might hurt you in the Super Bowl or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's what I think. It would be good to see Kyle. That's actually a decent idea. It's like, what if they did say like, screw it, we're trading for Kyler Murray and letting Brock Purdy walk? Like that would be interesting. But is Kyler a Shanahan guy? I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. But that's what I'm saying. Who is Kyler really meant for? I don't know. Just can't really envision him anywhere other than the Cardinals right now, even though it seems like he's running out of time. But lastly, let's see here. Ashton Genty looks like he's not going to get out of the top 10. It's either going to be the Raiders or the Bears. Anybody want to take a guess on where he's going?
That's what we talked about earlier. I like the Bears.
Yeah,
I agree.
We mocked them to the Raiders, but I can't remember who had that pick. But
Raiders would be good too. I mean,
either one I would think would be.
Pete Carroll wants to run that rock.
Yeah,
he does.
And Ashton Genty's the guy to do it with.
They did get Jackson Powers, the center, last year. They have decent weapons, not like great, but like they have Brock Bowers is a good player that's going to be there for a while. I don't know. They just got to get a quarterback. It's like, do the Raiders really take a running back instead of a quarterback? Like, I don't know if they do that. They could they could just pay Najee a little bit, even though he's not the most elite running back, but he would at least give you a Marshawn Lynch type of vibe where he's just running the shit out of the ball forever and he's never hurt.
No, I think in a Pete Carroll offense, Najee.
Yeah, I think that is a landing spot if they don't go Genty, because it just makes sense. Like Marshawn Lynch loves Najee because they both are from the same area. They grew up in the same area. They had the same like agents and stuff like that. So I think he would tell Pete Carroll, this is the guy that I think would be good in your offense. Pete Carroll would trust Marshawn Lynch and just watching ball. I feel like Najee needs a better O-line than the Steelers, which honestly the Raiders do have a highly graded O-line, even though they're bad. Overall, their O-line was better than people think. And I think that's a decent option. But I would say Bears would be the best for Genty because of the offense around him already and OC. I mean, their head coach, but yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
Yeah. So this was just more of like, there's a lot of news this week of NFL stuff. Clearly, we're waiting for the NFL draft. But we're going to do another mock draft probably like the week of the NFL draft, just to, like the draft will start on a Thursday. We're probably going to do it like on a Tuesday or Wednesday that week, just to be like, because that's when you're going to know the most about it,
Right.
So it'll be fun. We can get in here and make trades on it. Hopefully we can get everybody in here. That'd be great. I'm not sure if we're going to do the podcast like on a normal week-to-week basis. It might just be like every other week, or it might just be every like 10 days or 9 days, whenever we can get in. But I'm trying to do it when like we have a lot of news that just came out. We're feeling like this is a time where we can like talk about a lot of stuff. I don't want to get on here and ramble about things we've already kind of mentioned a lot. So, and we got next week that I'm gonna want to do a show next week just because, or not next week. I'm sorry, 2 weeks for sure because of March Madness. And I want to get everybody in here to like talk about some March Madness predictions and
I like
was
that.
going to talk. I was going to say we need a March Madness episode to happen sometime soon.
Yeah. Now we got to get that in for sure. We got to get a bracket going, a little bracket challenge.
Little bracket challenge. I love that.
Bracket challenge for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for this show. I'm definitely looking forward to March Madness and even talking about the Masters a little bit, man. Some golf talk.
Hey, I like some golf talk.
Me and Seth been sweating out some golf recently.
We have.
I was going, Seth. You don't strike me as a golf watcher.
You'd be surprised,
dude. I'd be fucking up.
Well, playing golf. Yeah.
Playing golf, yeah.
But no, you're an avid golf watcher.
Avid golf watcher, yes.
I'm more of a live guy, if I'm being honest, but I have been enjoying the PGA. I've been liking all the guys on the cut line trying to make their tour cards. That's been happening in these last like 4 tournaments.
There's a guy from Auburn. There's a guy from Auburn, a sophomore that's playing in the Arnold Palmer Invitational right now. And he's even right now, so he's top 20 right now. That's crazy.
Hey, Seth, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of been hurting my feelings. You're not backing me up in these Auburn debates in the group.
He doesn't watch.
I don't watch.
How are you not watching? How are you not watching Auburn basketball right now?
That's what I'm saying, dude. They're number 1.
I need to get back in there, man.
You'd rather watch
Madness, though.
I watch.
You'd rather watch PGA than Auburn basketball. I'm confused.
Times change, man. Times change. Become an old ass, and I just like the Steelers and golf.
That's crazy. That's actually
sound like my dad.
Sound like Skeeter.
Scott the Booty Eater.
We're exposing Scott on the screen.
Exposing Scott.
That's just a fun old nickname. No, nothing real about that.
Nope.
I'm sorry, Mr. Scott, if you're watching. I'll never forget 2016.
Scott's gonna be driving down, getting off work. And
he said,
"I hear that.
I watched the whole episode this week."
What the hell was that?
My apologies, Scott.
That's a good one to end on, man. So yeah, I guess that's it for the show this week. Appreciate everybody for joining and tuning in as always. But next week we're probably going to be on a standby. I don't know if we're going to actually do a show or not. Depends on if we get. Well, actually, I'll say this: we might get some crazy news because free agency is officially about to start.
Yeah.
So if that, which it will probably run rampant in the group chat, then I think the boys will have to get on here and start talking about it. So
F it up.
We need Jack and Caleb. We need everybody in here as much as possible. It's more fun. Not like this wasn't fun. It was a good time. No, I'm just saying, in general, the more the merrier. So appreciate everybody. I know we got to get stuff done tonight, so I'm gonna let everybody go. But thanks for watching another episode of the Muffed Sports Show. I'm your host Hayden Haynes. That's Cody Hart, Seth Killen, and Bradley McKinney. And I'll see y'all boys next week, possibly.
See you, dudes.
All right, brothers. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yes, sir.
See you, dude.